There we go. Is my place finally clean? Bedtime. Hello, my friends. It's been a little bit since my last video. I took a little bit of a break, understandably. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's gonna be one of these corners in the description. It was the most powerful, important video I've ever made. Well, second maybe to my first video I ever made. But I take a little bit of break from social media and video making, all that stuff, for reasons I'll explain later. There's a lot going on right now, and I'm still processing everything and dealing with stuff. But I want to make sure, I wanted to hold to my promise to make videos, because I do want to make videos. I do enjoy making videos. And so I wanted to mention today about asking for help. I was recently at a meeting where the opportunity came up to share my story, and I did. And immediately, and I said in afterwards that, like, I'm new to the area, I want to meet people, I need help, in this, just getting used to this city, meeting people here to help me through my struggles, right? Not necessarily like that, something around that area. And it's really early in the morning, by the way. So this is the only time I have to record. So if I'm a little disjointed, it's the morning when coffee hasn't fully. I mean, that's a lie. My coffee has fully kicked in. It just hasn't kicked in enough. Immediately I had like about 6-7 people come up to me and start talking to me and introducing themselves to me and giving me their phone numbers and saying, hey, blah blah blah, I'm so and so, I can help you with this, blah blah blah, like, call me, I'd love to talk to you more. And that was just a recent example of how simply asking for help yields such a huge response. You don't get anything if you don't ask for it. And I've learned that so much, especially when it comes to asking for help, because I'm terrible at asking for help. I am the worst. Ask anybody who knows me. And a lot of it, I'll admit, a lot of it comes from a lot of pride, a lot of ego, thinking I can overcome stuff myself. I don't need people. I don't need meds. I don't need doctors. I don't need, people, family, friends to help me through. I got this. And if I don't do this, my internal thinking is, if I don't do this myself, then I'm weak. And that's so far from true. Like, mental health is the only place where I actually think that. Everywhere else, I'm constantly asking for help. When it comes to, business and my job and work and stuff like that, I'm constantly asking people for help. I'm like, hey, what about this? Can you read this over? Can you look at this? What do you think about this idea? I'm constantly doing that. But when it comes to mental health, for some reason, a switch flips. And then all of a sudden I think, if I don't do it myself, I'm not good enough. And so, like, even with physical health, like a friend of mine has been helping me with not necessarily a diet, but like getting my eating on track, because my just the way I've been eating is a little chaotic. And so I'm working on that, doing some intermittent fasting, that kind of thing, getting my, a schedule on track. So even on physical health, I have no problem asking for help. But for some reason, when it comes to mental health, my ego kicks in. And honestly, I don't know why. That's something to explore more in therapy. I already have explored in therapy, but it's something to explore more in therapy. Therapy session later today, so hopefully get to talk about that a little bit. But it's something that I realize I just have to force myself to do, to have something like this in the background. Oh, there we go. There we go. It's all reversed in my viewfinder. There we go. Ask. It just have something like there to just ask for help. People love helping you. Like, if you think about it, like, if a friend asked, even like not a close friend, it's like just someone said, hey, I'm not feeling well, like, what do you recommend I do? Or like, I'm feeling kind of anxious or depressed. You mind if I talk to you for a little bit? you would probably go, yeah, of course I want to help. You're hurting. I want to help you because I know you're a good person, right? I know you're a good person. You might not think that right now, but I know that. And if you're like, well, you don't know me, well, message me and I'll talk to you and then I'll know you and then I'll tell you you're a good person, okay? Because again, right? And also, sidetrack, I hate it when people pretend that they like know me like through video form. They're like, oh yeah, I know you and I know you do this and I know you do this. I'm like, no, you don't know this. So if I'm saying something like I know you, like, and you're like, you don't know me, message me, I'll respond to you. And then I will know you, and then I'll tell you the truth about you. So don't pretend that that you're hiding behind this screen and that I'll never interact with you, because I will one day. One day I'll interact with you one way or another, whether it's through speaking or through DMs or email or whatever, that kind of stuff. I love talking with all of you. But whenever it comes for me asking for help, I always reverse it. I have a friend who calls me for their anxiety, especially late at night. And I'm always so happy to help because they're struggling and they're anxious and I want to help. Even though it's late at night, sometimes it's in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m. in the morning, I don't care because they're hurting and I want to help them because I care about them. As first of all, on a basic human being level, and secondly, because I'm close friends with them. I don't do that for everybody. If you message me in the middle of the night, I won't answer until later. I just want to be clear about that. I do not answer right away. I'm not a healthline. Healthline? I'm not either of them. So I remember one day, like a month or so ago, I was just feeling really depressed. And I was not in my headspace, and I was like kind of spiraling a little bit, and I wasn't really thinking. And then so I'm like, okay, my friend always tells me, call me if you're struggling, just like I call you. And every time I think about that, I go, no, I don't want to bother her, right? I don't want to intrude. I don't want to make her depressed, right? Because then I'm sharing my depression, right? And I'm like, no, it just end badly for everybody, right? But I overrode that thinking. I went, no. I'm going to just do this even though I don't think it's necessarily a good idea, because I know my brain isn't working right now. And so I overrode that and I said, okay, I'm going to do this even though I'm going against what I think is good, right? And it ended up being a great thing. And so that's one thing that I try to hold on to. And I tell myself, okay, this was good before. It will be good again. So I need to do it again. I need to repeat this step in opening up to people. And you'd be surprised. Like, I'm always constantly surprised on how like little people are offended or care about like bad stuff. Like if I mess up and do something wrong, I'm always surprised and shocked that people are like, yeah, okay, like, what are we gonna do about this? It always takes me by surprise. I'm like, oh, I can actually share things with you. And of course, depending, on how close of friends you are with somebody, or how close you are with your family, I'm always constantly pleasantly surprised and shocked on how I can share things, and then most people will respond appropriately and care. Of course, there's always going to be bad people in the world. There's always going to be people who don't respond appropriately, of course. But I've talked to so many people about my own problems, about their problems, about everyone's problems, about the world. And 99% of the time, it's a good interaction. Very, very rarely I'll have a bad interaction with someone who doesn't respond well to me, doesn't respond well to themselves, like all that kind of stuff, right? So you have a really good chance of getting someone help. Even random people on the street. Like, it's amazing to me when you ask someone for help, like whether it's carrying something. I remember, what was I doing? I was doing something. I was like trying to get a door, like something where like my hands were full. And I just asked someone who was walking by for help. And they helped me out. And if you want to look at it more on like a scientific level, not necessarily like a feelings, emotional level, is that we as social beings, it was helpful. It's always been helpful throughout humanity to help each other out, because that way we all survive. Now it's more surviving our own minds. That's really where it comes to helping each other out. Whereas before we were fighting off lions and like tigers and bears. I'm all over the place today. Now it's fighting off, pressure. It's fighting off stress. It's fighting off, bad interactions, things like that. And so I would start, if you have a problem asking for help, start on a very basic level. Like ask someone for help with homework, or if you work, right? For help at a job, right? Ask a coworker, a friend, a family. Ask them for something really small, and then see them be like, oh yeah, I'll help you with this, I'll help you with that. Even if someone's stressed, if someone's busy, I know when I'm stressed and I'm busy and I'm running around and someone asks me for help, internally I'm like, okay, this is one more thing to do. Oh my gosh. That doesn't mean I don't like helping. It just means I have other things on my mind. So if someone responds like that, especially a parent, I see this all the time, is that kids are, if you're a parent watching this, know this, that your teen might react like this, is that I see this all the time, and especially in my own parents too. And it's not a bad thing. I'm not at all dissing anybody. I'm saying a lot of times with parents, there's so much going on that when your kid asks for help, especially if you have many kids, it's just one more thing. So internally, you're just like, okay, great. Now I gotta deal with this. Now I gotta deal with this. It doesn't mean that they're upset to help you. It doesn't mean that they don't want to help you. It's just an initial reaction of going, okay, I need to add this to my list. That should not prevent you from asking for help. That does not mean that they don't want to help you. And I want you to remember that and keep that in mind, because that's really important. If someone seems to react badly, it's probably just because there's something else on their mind right now. It doesn't mean they don't want to help. So ask for help. And I'm saying this to myself too. I'm saying this over and over again to myself because I have this automatic reaction that when I'm suffering, when I'm hurt, when something's going wrong, I internalize it and keep it to myself, and then I isolate myself from everybody else. And I realize that's such a internal habit, and it's so ingrained. I find myself I recognize it hours after I'm already done it. And I realize, oh wait, I separated myself from everyone, and I didn't share it with anybody. And I'm like, that's not healthy. That's part of why I like making videos, is because it gives me an outlet to share like these stories and these problems that I'm going through and that you're going through too. And so that way we can learn and grow together. So I'm going to end it there because I've talked long enough, but I'm going to share more of what's been going on later once things have settled down. There's a lot going on, and it's big subjects and like things like that I want to treat very well. So I will give an update probably in the next few videos or so. I don't want all my videos to just be updates because that's boring. So yeah, expect a pretty sizable video coming up later, probably next month once things have settled a little bit. And then in the next, I'll see you in the next video about being unashamed, right? Living your own mentally healthy life. I don't know why I'm trying to come up with a new tagline right now. I'm tired and I need to go. Oh no. Okay, I need to leave. I need to not pack. I need to just get ready, put on appropriate pants and not sweatpants. You can't even see me. I'm wearing sweatpants. It's comfortable to make videos in sweatpants. I'm sorry, like it's not comfortable to make videos in regular pants. I'm just gonna say that flat out. Now you know the secrets behind being a famous YouTuber. I love how critical I am of myself when it comes to YouTube. Like not like in a bad way. Just like I rarely post ever, and I still think of myself as a YouTuber. It's funny to me. Okay. Done. Ask for help. And remember, always, be unashamed and stay unashamed.